New National Youth Council office officially opened. Invest Dominica Authority trained to boost competitiveness and better farmer access for bells. Welcome to this edition of National Focus. I'm Kimani Saint-Jean.
And I'm Kerdisha St. Stay with us for details of the headline stories and others after this.
Did you know the Caribbean Court of Justice is two courts in one? The CCJ has two functions: an original jurisdiction, which deals with your right to move between CARICOM countries freely and your right to move your money and your business. This is the basis of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, and the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and an appellate jurisdiction to hear appeals from courts of those countries which decide to use it as their final court of appeal and no longer go to the Privy Council. All CARICOM member states who have signed the agreement establishing the CCJ are members of the CCJ.
Thanks for staying with us. The National Youth Council of Dominica officially opened its new office in Roseau on Wednesday. This was made possible through funding provided by the government of Dominica. It is part of efforts by the Roosevelt Skerrit-led administration to create an enabling environment for Dominica's youth to flourish. President of the National Youth Council, Senator the Honorable Jaiziah Benwa, says the NYC never doubted that their dream of having a new office would be realized.
Coming into the National Youth Council executive in July 2014, this executive was of the view that the present office of the National Youth Council was not conducive to exercising the mandate of the council. And as such, we felt that it was indeed necessary to move forward towards what would be a more ideal environment to conduct the work of the National Youth Council. It is also often said by our leaders, where there is no vision, a people perish. And although every member of the executive had the vision as to a new office that could be more conducive to our work, none of us knew exactly where that office would be or how we would go about obtaining such office space. Here we stand by virtue of the good graces of the Prime Minister in seeing it fit to empower the National Youth Council through the Ministry of Youth with this office. We are now in a new, and I must say, a more conducive office to the work of the National Youth Council.
Senator Benwa reaffirmed the continued dedication of members of the NYC to the organization.
That we all stand committed to continue to do the work of the National Youth Council to the best of our ability with the limited resources we have for as long a time as the youth will entrust us. And we hope that by the time we are done, that you will have seen the necessity to pick up that mantle and ensure that the flame of the National Youth Council never goes out in the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Featured Speaker, Honorable Minister for Youth, Justina Charles, commended the NYC for its positive influence on Dominica's youth.
I really want to thank you for the amount of work that you've been doing. I want to thank you for the level of enthusiasm, the interest, the level of leadership that you've been giving to the council over the past 2 years, and even your innovative ideas and the ideas that you have developed and implemented to keep our young people engaged. And your activities are activities that will solicit or attract the young people, things that you know they are interested in, and you use them to get to them, to give them the message that you want to, which is very, very important. I really want to commend you for that.
The opening ceremony featured the launch of the NYC website. His Excellency President of Dominica, Charles A. Savre, and Mrs. Savre, Honorable Minister for Youth, Culture, Sports and Constituency Empowerment, Justina Charles, and Mayor of Roseau, Her Worship Irene John, were taken on tour of the facility.
The Honorable Minister for Education, Peter Seja, says his administration will continue to accentuate the need for higher education from the Dominica State College, DSC. According to the Honorable Minister, government is providing support to make available a package of affordable, high-quality and relevant programs at the DSC.
This is based on our belief that citizens at every stage of their learning journey, from early years to adulthood, should be able to reach their full potential and be successful in life, at work, and in society. The government in which I serve is of the view that to achieve any significant level of economic and social growth and development, a sound education system must be in place.
He says government has also demonstrated its commitment through investments in the education sector, particularly by facilitating the introduction of new degree programs at the DSC, including mass communications, plumbing technology, political science, and pre-teacher education, among others. Additionally, this is evident through its investment in physical infrastructure, the most recent being the new state-of-the-art Dominica State College, which officially opened in September 2013, and commencement of work at the old wing of the college for the establishment of an ICT center costing government almost $300,000. Honorable Seja says as a result, graduates and potential students beginning a new phase in their educational journey will be able to demonstrate core knowledge, skills, attitudes, and competencies needed to be successful. The Education Minister announced that there are new courses to come on stream as of summer 2015.
The college's programs are also aligned with the Ministry of Education's recently renewed focus on technical vocational education and training, as it is in the process of introducing a degree program in fashion design and a certificate program in fashion technology and instrument repair and maintenance. These, I have been advised, are expected to come on stream in September of 2015.
The Honorable Minister revealed that plans are also afoot to establish a fully functional supported School of Agriculture and Tourism at the DSC, two of Dominica's main economic drivers. The Honorable Seja was addressing 100 graduates, their families and friends at the 2015 DSC Spring Commencement Ceremony last Friday.
In more news, the Invest Dominica Authority is looking to increase its capacity to attract foreign direct investment to Dominica. The IDA has the mandate to facilitate and promote investment in Dominica. However, the right skills to get the job done in a competitive market has been a challenge in the past. The Technical Assistance Project, which will better equip IDA staff for marketing business opportunities in Dominica, is conducted by Communique International. Project manager is David O'Donovan.
Specifically, we're working at the minute with IDA. We've identified quite a number of companies, target companies in the States and in Europe that we feel would have the potential interest to invest in Dominica. So what we're doing is working with IDA to help them to develop the business case that will convince these investors to come and take a look. It's all very fine to read in a report that Dominica is a good place to invest, but really the key, tool or methodology you can use or benefit is to get those investors on an airplane to come to Dominica to see for themselves the really strong business case that does exist here.
While Communique International began working with the IDA in September of 2014, actual training and on-the-job coaching began in January 2015. Managing Director of Communique International, Peter Finnegan, anticipates great results from the project.
Well, the project's been going very well. It's the idea is when you go into this world of foreign direct investments, it's very, very competitive. And the people who are going to be out marketing and selling in this need to be really sharp, need to be really best in the world at what they're doing. Because lots of people want tourism investment and they want BPO investment. Now, Dominica has some very good advantages in both those areas. So the important thing is to have the people here skilled to go out and sell that message and to convince people that they should come down to the country here. There's been an enormous amount of hard work done within the IDA. We worked with them on the previous couple of missions when we were down here. Since then, we've also been working from Ireland. We're from Ireland. So we've been working from Ireland via Skype with them on a weekly basis. So that we are hoping that the campaign that's just started in the last couple of days in going out and contacting people to have meetings and to set up meetings in the US and other countries, that when the people from IDA go out, they will be as good, they'll be better than anybody else in the world.
The project will primarily look at attracting investments in business processing outsourcing and tourism. The IDA anticipates that the project will bring benefits to Dominica.
We have a complete database of potential investors who could come to Dominica. And with the training, we will meet with them and see if we can get them to actually come in, do a site visit, and decide maybe a year from now, maybe a couple months, that yes, Dominica is the place for business. Once this business is established, we will see an increase in jobs, you will see the ripple effect throughout the economy, and things will be better off for us here in Dominica.
The project is funded by Compete Caribbean and the government of Dominica. You're watching National Focus. Still to come, better farm access for farmers in the interior. Stay with us.
There is a silent, invisible killer in our midst, a killer which largely goes unnoticed as it plies its deadly trade. Its name is second-hand tobacco smoke, which has a far greater impact on persons inhaling this poison than on smokers themselves. Second-hand tobacco smoke is especially detrimental in public places and negatively impacts our national health as well as public health expenditure. Stop this invisible killer now. Say no to second-hand tobacco smoke in public places. A public health message brought to you by the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
Welcome back. Over 70 farmers in the community of Bells will soon have better access to their farms. The government of Dominica and the parliamentary representative for the St. Joseph constituency, Honorable Kelvadaru, has made it their priority to rehabilitate the farm access roads in the wet area. This is a highly productive area of the community. $200,000 is being spent on the project.
Bells is a highly productive area as it relates to dashing production. And as a member of parliament, I have listened to the farmers, and one of the complaints that the farmers raised was the condition of the farm access road. And as a member of parliament, I am currently addressing that issue. I believe this road is of a high standard. The work thus far is of a high standard, and I must commend the contractors for that. And it will impact significantly on the livelihood and the production in this community, because a lot of times the farmers may not have the proper access to the farms, and government is now aggressively addressing the issue of farm access roads. And I'm very happy that here in Bells, after having consulted with farmers, they have decided that this road was the one which should be given priority, and that is why today works are ongoing on the farm access road here in Bells.
The project, which involves work on two parts of the road, began last week and is expected to last for 1 month. 2 contractors are engaged on the project, and over 14 local men have been hired to work on the project. Denny Esprit is one of those contractors.
The size of the road is 14 feet by 4 inches thick. I hope to complete the contract with about 7 guys. Most of all, I'm happy that I have the opportunity to do this project as a man from this community. I'm very delighted that I could do this project.
Honorable Daru says the farmers in the Bells area are pleased with the work being undertaken. The St. Joseph MP is committed to addressing the needs of the farmers.
We have a thriving farmers group in this community, where over 70 farmers are part of that group. And as a member of parliament, I have made inputs available through the farmers group so the farmers here in this community can benefit. And I believe moving forward, I will continue to meet with the farmers here in this community, listen to their plight, and see how best we can address the issues concerning the farmers.
In addition to the road, the Honorable Parliamentary Representative says a new bridge will soon be constructed.
Through the Ministry of Public Works, we will be purchasing a Bailey Bridge for the community of Bells that will replace one of the old wooden bridges that you saw earlier on. And that is also a very important move, because the farmers have complained that the bridge sometimes is not sturdy enough, and you have all the load being transported on their vehicles. So we want to ensure that that too is taken care of. And as a member of parliament, I have seen that through the Ministry of Public Works, we have already made provisions for the bridge, to order the bridge and to replace the old bridge with a new bridge for this community. And I believe once again we will be addressing the needs of the farmers.
Over 200 feet of road will be rehabilitated under this project.
That's wonderful, Kerdisha. We see government continues to invest in agriculture, right? And you know, the Dominica Labour Party administration has always been has always made agriculture a priority, even in the beginning with the agriculture investment unit, which started in 2010. Well, they have done other things, but that's one of the significant things that government has done in agriculture. And $1.9 million was made available to farmers in a revolving fund. And also at the aid bank, there was a loan grant arrangement where they would get 50% loan, 50% grant, and these loans were 0% interest rates. So that's wonderful, and that proves that the government is really pushing and really investing in agriculture. And here we see feeder roads too is also a very important part of agriculture, and they're not making access to farms more better for farmers.
That's right, Kimani. And you know, it says a lot because not only is the government investing in that particular area, but you can also look at areas such as crop diversification, where they are encouraging farmers to look at plants or crops that can bring in quick cash to them, you know, such as white potatoes or onions. You know, it says a lot because not only are they thinking about, you know, the future, they are thinking of how we can, as a people, make some money right now.
Yeah, and even recently, the Prime Minister visited Kahome, coming back to talking about feeder roads. The Prime Minister visited Kahome in St. Joseph, visited Kahome and to see what needed to be done to improve, to upgrade the feeder roads. And we know that he's going to be visiting other farms, other areas, communities around the island and see how access to farms can be improved.
Not only access, but access to seeds, access to fertilizers, access to technical knowledge from the Ministry of Agriculture. So we can definitely see that the government of Dominica is pushing to help farmers, you know, reach their full potential.
That's right. Yeah. Dominicans are being encouraged to help preserve and conserve water. This call comes from the Dominica Water and Sewage Company, DOWASCO, the Forestry Division, and the Dominica Manufacturers Association. A panel discussion was held on the topic of water on Tuesday night. The United Nations declared March 22nd World Water Day. One of the aims of that day is to prepare for how we manage water in the future. Although Dominica boasts of 365 rivers and an abundance of water, the panelists say a more active role in conserving and preserving of the resource is required.
20% of Dominica is legally protected in either forest reserves or national parks. And they're protected for a number of reasons, water production inclusive. These are areas locked down, protected that, you know, by law. And we also have the state lands, protected by the State Lands Act. So within that framework, we have the Forestry Division operating. We have been out in the forest at various districts across Dominica, ensuring that the forest is not unduly tampered with. The government state forests, both forest reserve national parks, as well as state lands, you know, and people do not go in there and cut the forest. And we have had a tremendous amount of success. I can say that the people of Dominica have been fairly very cooperative with us, because in the absence of that, you know, Dominica would have been, easily deforested.
Chief Engineer at DOWASCO Magnus Williams says quality water is needed for consumption, and that is why protecting the water catchment areas is important.
Or farming practices, whether by use of pesticides or certain types of fertilizers, that's discouraged in certain areas of the watershed. And secondly, as the DOWASCO, we try to go into the more pristine parts of the watershed as possible, so that raw water starts out at a high quality. And furthermore, after we abstract it, then we go through various treatment processes. It may vary from one system to the other. It may simply be addition of chlorine to take care of any biological factors into water, or it could require sedimentation, and for a larger system and our new West Coast Water Project, we install filtration. So go through those various stages of treatment.
A large part of the work of the Dominica Manufacturers Association is agro-processing. President of the Dominica Manufacturers Association, Jean-Yves Bonner, says although water shortage may not be an immediate threat, Dominicans should put measures in place to preserve for the future.
We are also conscious of all this climate change that is happening, and we have seen longer periods of drought, and I think the experts are predicting that in the Caribbean region, what we're going to experience as climate change is probably, apart from extreme weather events, we're going to see some longer and more severe drought that we have been feeling. For example, in St. Lucia, we heard about droughts in Antigua. Not in Dominica, fortunately, but I think it's because of the configuration of the terrain. But we're conscious of this, and we're also conscious about the, Mr. William mentioned it, the quality of water, because some of our processes require quality water. So we're seeing risk of pollutions ahead of the manufacturing processes. We are also conscious about the impact of manufacturing on the quality of water that we may reject in the environment, something that we're conscious about. And generally speaking, we are one of the economic sectors on island, and it's absolutely normal that we are involved and conscious about the importance of water.
Government plans to introduce land use and zoning policies to protect the natural environment, which in turn will help in the preservation of the resource. GIS News will bring you more from that discussion in a subsequent newscast. And that's it for the English segment. McPherson St. Luce is next with Curl Highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, c'est chef en délégation Dominique qui a en mission écha. Si l'on en parole qui sorti, délégation là qui a visité Malaysia et puis People's Republic of China. Délégation là qui a joint et puis investors en Beijing et puis Shanghai, ça c'est en People's Republic of China, pour promouvoir l'investissement en Dominique, bagaille pour développement pays. D'autres membres de délégation, c'est ministère du développement économique, Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre, secrétaire cabinet Steve Farrell, coordinateur Economic Citizenship Investment Emmanuel Nathan, président State College Dominic Dr. Donald Peters, et puis chairman pour Aid Bank Martin Charles. Ministère Kai Honorable Reginald Austrie, qui a une position comme premier ministère. À la nouvelle, le gouvernement Dominique a un commitment à assister National Youth Council à Dominique et puis opération AEO. Parole celle-là sortie au ministre Jeunesse Honorable Justina Charles pendant qu'il délivre une adresse en cérémonie où la Council a lancé l'office 9 à aujourd'hui. Council a né l'office là à Kennedy Avenue en Roseau.
Depuis premier National Youth Council, yo te commandé pour yo taper côté pour yo faire officio plus meilleur because là yo te petit et yo pas teni yo pas de ça fait en dedans là. So avec depuis new council ça là te elected, yo vini, yo parle avec moi encore, yo parle avec Honorable Prime Minister, avec gouvernement, par commitment pour aider yo avec l'office là, so yo acheter côté là, yo acheter pour là, tout ça qui écouter pour faire office là, et nous d'accord, nous qui assister yo, so gouvernement fait commitment pour payer loyer là-bas yo tous les mois.
En même temps, ministre Charles aussi annoncé d'autres propositions comme celle-là qui gouvernement a gardé.
Oui, il y a des proposals, c'est pour ouvrir, il y a fait un côté où il y a garder compte agriculture en général, et en enterprise agriculture en général, tous différents plans, et il y a l'autre là qui a garder compte horticulture et livestock. So yo ka garder contre cabouit, contre toutes ces différentes qualités bêtes ça là comment pour lever yo pour faire d'autres products rod c'est vienne ça c'est let là vienne comment yo ça am process des différents products c'est bêtes là. So ça c'est un autre projet yo ka garder compte et nous en principe nous ka ba yo nous ja comité pour ba yo support yo besoin là mais son process so quand yo là yo pas ouais yo que fait nous ça because nous ni pour faire temps nous pour acheter là avec gouvernement ni pour liste tel là ba yo pour yo ça fait ça et après ça so quand nous ka move nous ka travailler avec yo pour make sure ça yo les because nous copains ces jeunes monde yo très important pour nous avec développement Dominique.
Gouvernement Dominique a mis autant attention à ces jeunes monde en pays là. En d'autres nouvelles, le gouvernement Dominique a mis attention à ce secteur pêche en pays là. Parole celle-là sortie au ministre pêche, Honorable Johnson Drago.
Moi toujours dit, moi-même toujours dit que standard la pêche là à Dominique, nous pas reporter accurately. Plus qu'à faire pêcher poisson Dominique passer au Catancote. Parce que quand nous parlons à présent, nous pêchons Dominique à mener plus que 40% tout poisson nous a servi, nous a mangé Dominique. 40-40. Quand nous parlons à présent, pêcher Dominique a mené 80% poisson nous a servi à Dominique. Gouvernement bâti 3 gros usines pour mener pour ça fait poisson. Yon à Marigot, yon à Roseau, yon à Guatans.
Si le ministre Drago, gouvernement aussi mettait mesures en place pour faciliter pêche et puis commodité aller la pêche.
À part de ça, gouvernement mettait plusieurs facilités pour pêcher taper am gasoline en commune. Yo pas pour monter de payer l'argent pour acheter poisson encore. Après désastre, le gouvernement a dépensé millions de dollars quand il y a des pêcheurs qui ont notre bayou. Le gouvernement a mis des projets comme FAD à la mer pour pêcher. Le gouvernement a aidé pêcheurs. Et puis tout ça, c'est en bas ministre agriculture. So, moi, plus content pour reporter à présent qui, as far as l'argent, 21 $1,000 poisson qui a changé la main en pays Dominique tous les années qu'on nous a parlé.
Et puis finalement, Dominique Bonchi et puis Westin la terre dimanche qui passé pour observer la journée de l'eau internationale. Parole ça la sortie de officier relations publiques pour compagnie de Wasco, Sénateur Edward Regist.
Dominique venu ensemble vers l'Est de la terre pour nous observer la journée mondiale pour apprécier l'eau. Avec ça, c'était dimanche qui passait, le 22 mois mars. Avec nous faisons des activités pour observer journée ça qui était bien important. Avec nous avons mis attention à ce l'eau parce que l'eau est important pour la vie. L'eau c'est un butin, tout en la terre, monde besoin de l'eau et pas ni monde tout seul, tout ça qui est vivant besoin de l'eau pour ça rester vivant. Avec si nous pas protéger ressources de l'eau qui nous ni en Dominique, nous allons perdre. Il y a un pile pays qui a perdu ressources de l'eau. Avec autant l'air en Dominique, nous avons la vie qui descend comme ça, Dominique plein de l'eau. Avec nous pas apprécier ça nous ni. Mais si nous pas prendre précaution, nous allons perdre. Ça c'est la vérité.
Sénateur Regis qui a fait parole condition où là nous avons perdu des ressources de l'eau.
C'est voir 20 années qui passent, 30 années qui passent, c'est la vie atteint plus de l'eau. Nous avons bien en bassin, nous avons pêché, nous avons fait un peu de bitin, c'est la vie. À présent, nous avons plus wash en la vie, parce que nous avons l'eau. Nous pouvons demander qu'on a une section, qui est-ce qui a fait. Il y a différents habitants, il y a différentes conditions, tout la terre, qui est climate change, qui a affecté nous. Nous ne pouvons pas faire autant d'habitants comme ça, mais il y a nous-mêmes ça fait. Pour nous, ça fait certaines générations qui ont venir derrière, que ça a des bénéfices globaux à Dominique ni, avec nous pas ni pour faire rien, pour nous ça détruire forêt, pour nous ça détruire manière nous-mêmes ni glo à présent pour nous ça injure.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non moins, c'est McPherson. Au revoir.
Are you drinking real tea? Coming up on our tip of the day.
Wash your hands. I am Adora Tuse, health educator from the Ministry of Health. Proper hand washing protects against the spread of many common illnesses and germs. Wash your hands often with soap and water, or you may use a hand sanitizer. Remember, clean hands save lives. Protect yourself.
A message from the Health Promotion of the Ministry of Health.
There are many health benefits to drinking tea and many reasons why it is a better option than coffee. But to ensure that you get those benefits, make sure you are really drinking tea. Real tea is derived from a particular plant, Camellia sinensis, and includes only 4 varieties: green, black, white, and oolong.
Anything else like herbal tea is an infusion of a different plants and isn't technically tea. Here's one health benefit from a real tea. Real tea can boost exercise endurance. Scientists have found that the antioxidants in green tea extract increase the body's ability to burn fat as fuel, which accounts for improved muscle endurance.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website, news.gov.dm.
Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Desk, I'm Kerdisha.
And I'm Kimani. Thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.
Thank you.